Good day. My name is Sharon Grimes. I'm with the St. Croix Seashell Society. We have the Seashell Museum in the St. George Village Botanical Garden, and we invite everyone to go to the Botanical Garden and visit both the garden and the museum. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the seashell architecture of some of the smaller classes of mollusks. We have the Polypachypora, or the chitons, scaphalopods, which are tusk shells, Pulmonata, which are false limpets and mollusks. We have Opistobranchia, which are the bubble shells. And then I'm going to talk about Janthena, which are a family of gastropods, but they're purple and they're just really cool. So Polypachypura is the first family I'm going to talk about. These are the chitin shells. The name means many plates. You can see that this guy is not like your regular bivalve or gastropod. He's made of plates. They've been around for about 400 million years. There are about 800 living species. These guys live in shallow water. They can live up to 23,000 feet deep, but mostly they're crawling around on rocks. The 8 shelly plates are attached by a girdle that may be scaly or have bristles. They move slow and feed on algae, and they can coil up really tight when they're attacked. You can see that this guy is not flat, but he was starting to coil. And the young remain under the mother until they're able to fend for themselves. So that's something that not all shells do. This guy is called a fuzzy chitin. He is from St. Croix. We do have other chitons in our museum. They can live up to about 40 years. The next guy is called Stokes chitin. He's from the west coast of Costa Rica, the Pacific coast. He's really nice specimen. He's pretty flat. You can see all of the plates. And if you look really close, you can see that his girdle is very scaly, looks like a snake or a lizard. The last guy is called the Florida slender chitin. He's a very flat, long, skinny shell, and he's kind of pink on the underside. Next, I'm going to talk about the scaphalopods, or the tusk shells. They're a small class of the molluscan phylum. They've been around for only 347 million years, so it's the youngest molluscan class. There are about 1,000 living species. They live on the bottom in the mud, so they're pretty deep, so you don't typically find tusk shells on the beach. It's open at each end, and water is pumped in and out of the small end, which protrudes above the sand, and the larger end, the animal uses its foot to dig further down into the sand if necessary. They are bilaterally symmetrical, which means if you cut this in half, it's a mirror image of itself. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this guy is called the elephant tusk. It's from India. And as you can see, it looks kind of like an elephant tusk. What I think is really cool is it goes from very dark green to light green to white at the other end. This next guy is called a green tusk shell. It is from the Philippines, and it's just green all the way. It's a longer, more slender shell, and its ribs, it's smoother. It's not as thickly ribbed as the elephant's tusk. The last guy is called Winkoff's tusk. It's from Japan, and it's white, and it's just almost straight. It's not as bent as the other tusk shells. Next, the pulmonates. These guys can breathe air. The coffee molumpus lives in mangroves. It's kind of a thin, small shell. It moves up and down the tree according to the tide lines. I have a giant limpet, which is from the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, and it moves around on rocks. You can see it's kind of like a mountain, has lots of ribs and empty in the middle. And these guys, as they crawl around on the rocks, they feed at night, and then they can go home to where they normally stay on the rock, where they've carved out a place in the rock that fits their shell. And then I have a striped false limpet. These guys are from the Gulf of Mexico. They're small and lightweight. And this guy, like that, the inside, that's where the animal lives and is attaches itself to the rock. And these guys can lift their shell up to expose the body for evaporative cooling. The pulmonates are about 360 million years old. There's about 300 living species, and they live in the salt marshes or brackish waters, and not usually in operculum. Next guy I'm going to talk about are opisthobranchs. Those are the bubble shells. They have been around for about 360 million years. There's about 600 living species of these. They can live up to 1,000 feet deep, and they live just beneath the surface of the sand. There's usually not an operculum, and they're usually lightweight, very colorful shells. This first guy I have here in my hand is called Eloise's actinon. It's only found in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of Oman. It does have an operculum. Can't see it here, but the animal can retract all the way into the shell. And this guy has a high pointy spire. The next guy is called a white banded bubble. You can see inside there, it doesn't have a pointy spire. It has a sunken spire. It has these white bands. This guy's from Taiwan, and you can see the body whorl gets very large very quickly. And this guy is called the ampule bubble. It's from Thailand. It doesn't have an operculum, and you can see its spire is so deeply sunken, it's like it's a hole drilled into the shell. It has this white line right around the edge of the opening, and the animal can retract completely into the shell in this bubble. We do have bubbles in St. Croix. You can find them on the beaches, and we have a couple of different kinds at the Seashell Museum. The last guys I'm going to talk about are Janthena. They are a family of gastropods. There's only 10 species. They live worldwide, floating on the surface of the water. They build a raft by encasing air in mucus that they secrete. They don't have an operculum. They would fall if they tried to go into their shell, and they would fall from the raft that they've made. And then they can't swim, so then they wouldn't be able to make a new raft, so they would just die. They feed on other floating specimens. They're so fragile. This guy is the common purple sea snail. You can see he's purple on the bottom. He's white. He floats on the surface like this. So the lighter part, a fish or other predator looking up from the bottom would see the white, and it would just blend in with the sky. And a bird that was on the surface looking for something to eat would only see the dark purple, which would blend in with the ocean. The next guy is called the globe purple sea snail. He's incredibly fragile. I'm holding him upside down. There he is. He has a tall spire. He's a little bit more purple. There he is, purple on the bottom. And again, floats in his little raft of mucus. The next guy is called the pale purple sea snail, and you can see he's almost white. He does have a little bit of light purple on the bottom. And the last guy is a dwarf purple seashell. He is really tiny and really purple and really fragile. And purple's my favorite color, so I think a purple seashell is about the best thing there is. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed learning a little bit about other classes of mollusks that aren't bivalves or gastropods or cephalopods. And we hope that you come to the museum to see what all we have at the museum. Thank you.